Alright, so after spending a day and an evening in the San Francisco volcanic field, I headed north and went along 89, stopped at Horseshoe Bend real quickly. You know, it's cool, but it's so packed with tourist buses and whatnot, it kind of takes away from it, but it's still worth a stop. I just checked in with the visitor centers in Page, and then for the Glen Canyon recreational area, and then I just stopped in at the BLM Visitor Center for the Grand Staircase Escalante area. Filed my permit just so they know that I'm out there and all that. So I'm pretty excited, about to go into the Glen Canyon recreation area to head out to Alstrom Point, and already the terrain looks pretty cool. Check this out. The camera probably doesn't do it justice, but just look at the layering, look at the erosion. Looks pretty cool. On my way towards Alstrom Point, the ranger at the BLM Visitor Center said there was a good side trail to take. I think it's called Warm Springs. I'll have to check later. But check out this sedimentary bluff behind me that's been eroded with all the layers. And the trail reminded me of Canyonlands. It followed a wash or creek or something down to the lake level. So I think their lake's pretty low right now. So if it was a lot higher, I'm not sure if this would be accessible or not. But it's definitely something to keep in mind for a cool campsite. So I'm just setting up camp. I think it's about 4 p.m. and I don't think I made it to Alstrom Point. I think I stopped at another outlook, but it's still pretty nice. So I'm gonna set up camp here, and then tomorrow I'll go down the other trail and just make sure I see both of them and check them out. Anyway, I'm up in the tent setting up, and check out this view. just going to give you an overview of the campsite. So I came in, I know the sun is harsh, came in from kind of that direction, kind of northwest, and let's see here. So there's several other people parked out here. It's no secret. But I got a pretty good secluded spot here on the end. And there's even more canyon activity back here.
Okay, so it's Sunday. After visiting Allstrom Point yesterday, I decided to keep going east. There was another point that sticks out into Lake Powell, and I was thinking I could go explore that. Turns out it's starting to become a little bit more challenging of a trail, so let me show you. So I just descended into this ravine. You can't really see where, but it was back up that way, and it was steep but pretty controllable. And then you follow the trail through the riverbed, and you can see where I stopped right there. So I stopped to check it out because this part here, it's got some good slick rock kind of boulders. I think those won't be a problem. And then you come up to here, quite a bit of loose rocks. Again, I think this will be alright. But then as you keep coming up, right here is a section that concerns me. So on the left, you know, is a pretty solid, easy going. But as you can see on the right, there's some lines there that I could take as long as I hit that passenger side tire right on the ridge of that rock. You know, alternatively, I could come way over here on the left, but the way that the edge is broken, I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm still deciding whether or not I want to do this. I'm leaning towards no, just because I got no one else with me. And it would be pretty hard to call out to someone out here. Alright, so against better judgment, I did it. Put it in 4-low, had A-track on, put it into traction control for mogul. And the only part that was difficult was this part here. And what made it hard, as I kind of anticipated, was that I had no spotter. So I stayed more cautious to the right. Lost traction a little bit, but traction control really helped out there. Alright, so it's almost 2. It took a little longer than I thought to do that trail. It was really bumpy for a long ways. But other than that one ravine, it was not too challenging, just very bumpy and very slow. Some of it was kind of like Canyonlands with the slick rock. Some of it was more desert, dusty, sandy trails. But of course, you have to slow down every time you see a wash coming up. But I made it out to the point here, so let me show you. I'm going to spend the night camped out here. And let's see, I'll go to the left. So you can sort of see the trail in the distance where I came from the north. Panning to the left, those are the mountains that I kind of went in along. And then if I look over this way, you see the ridge that ends right about here. That's Allstrom Point, I think. Pretty sure. So I had to drive all the way back into those mountains in the distance, come all the way over here, and then come back out. That's why it took so long. But check out the view. Good morning. So, I had a bit better sleep last night. I think I'm getting over the cold. Still not 100%. But I feel pretty good because I made it through the treacherous part, the most challenging part. Sorry I didn't film much of it. It was steep and used a lot of articulation and had a lot of mixture between dirt, loose rock, and boulders. So it wasn't like one type of terrain. And I scraped quite a bit, so good thing I had the skid plates on. But I have a vantage point here I want to show you. Let's see, it's very sunny, but way over there is where, towards the point, towards the south, where I camped. And I want to say just past this boulder here, where there's a ridge right there, I think that's where the road drops in and does a few switchbacks. You can't see it here obviously because I can't get close enough, but I think that's where it goes down, and that's the hardest part, honestly. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can see the trail right there. So yeah, it kind of goes down. There's a section where you're literally cut in between walls, so you have no choice but to go over these boulders that honestly I scraped going up and down, but you just try to minimize it. And then there's a switchback, and then there's that part that I filmed yesterday where there's quite the gap. Going down, I got on a good line, and so it wasn't an issue. I used crawl control just to, in both of those sections, just to help maintain my speed and control my traction, and it worked really well. It seems like it maintained traction better than when I was just in first gear, low, and on the brakes. Anyway, so you cut through the canyon. Sorry, it's so sunny you probably can't see much. And then it comes back over this side, and there's a little shack there, and a little trailer where people obviously live when it's time to do something. I don't know what, if they have cows out here or horses or just come out for a getaway, I don't know. Anyway, I'm almost back to the main road that's maintained better, so I'm going to be able to go more quickly. And I think I'm headed home from here just because it's like 24 hours to get home from here, so it's definitely going to take at least 2 days. So it's been a fun adventure. A little bit not fun just because of the cold. It kind of wore me down for a couple days, but still great to see all the scenery, and definitely want to come back because I didn't make it up in the grand staircase at all, even though I had plans for it. I just think that it's for me to get any distance in there, I would just have to come back, and it just adds to my overall time. So another day.